Hi, in this video we will talk about the preparation plan of CAT 2017 in last 50 days. Let us first see what we need to do before we get into the action plan for next 50 days. We need to first review how has been our performance so far. Assuming that a sincere candidate would have appeared for at least 5 to 6 online mocks and 1 or 2 paper-based mocks so far, that is till the end of September, we should have a sufficient meat or sufficient data to do the detailed analysis of our performance, and on that basis we'll be in position to prepare the plan for next 50 days. Now let us see which are the key points which we should take care of in evaluating our own performance so far. Identifying the best and the worst performance so far in all the mocks that you've appeared for should be the first thing to be done. So assuming that you've appeared for 6 online mocks, I'm sure you would have been in position to give your best in at least one, or you might have been lucky in at least one of the mocks. So what was the reason? Why exactly did you score really high in that mock? And assuming that you would have performed really bad in 1 or 2 mocks. So try to identify which are the factors responsible for such a poor performance. So if we can simply do this analysis of both the extremes, we'll come to know what are our strengths. So it is not that you were just lucky on one day and you got all the questions correct. You might have been really good with selection of the question. You might have been really good in managing your time. You might have been really good with moving out of questions at right time, or probably you could somehow capitalize on your strengths. Probably you didn't knew that it was your strength, but on that particular day you could capitalize on what you felt that you were really comfortable with those type of questions, or maybe it was your gut feeling. So whatever may be the reason, first thing we need to identify is what exactly really worked for you, and what worked for you will ultimately become strengths. So by 6 papers, in every paper you can identify that okay, in so and so paper you could attempt RC with really good accuracy. That RC was based on, say for example, history. After 2 to 3 papers you again got a question, a passage on history, and you again got a very good accuracy. So that will summarize that okay, you comfortable with history based RCs, or you're comfortable with so and so type of questions in Quant, or so and so type of sets in DI, AR, LR, and that will form your core composition of next attempting pattern. That means that is your strength, and of course in the entire month of October your focus will be to capitalize on your strength. Second element is to identify your weaknesses or the blunders that you have done. So by attempting 5 to 6 mocks, I'm sure you would be in position to identify that okay, these are my areas of improvement, these are the areas where I made mistake, these are the areas where there is a possibility of recovery. I'm not talking about area where you are completely in dark, you are completely not comfortable, or you are not aware about the concepts. So we will try to tackle how to handle those areas later on. We will try to talk about it later on, but at this point of time I'm talking about areas of improvement. So when you say areas of improvement, that means there is a scope, there is a possibility that you work on it, maybe on a concept, maybe on the approach, or maybe a slight revision which can help you overcome your mistakes in those areas. So section wise, a list of area of improvement is something which we need to prepare on the basis of 5 to 6 mocks that you have appeared so far. These areas can further be divided into a week-wise plan on how to start working on it, how to start improving on those areas. So say suppose in Quant you identify that within geometry questions on triangles is where you are facing a problem, or questions on circles is where you are facing a problem. So that can become your area of improvement. You can identify, or you can allocate, say week 1 in October, focus in Quant, your focus should be on triangles. Week 2 your focus should be on PNC based question. Week 3 your focus should be on basic algebra based question, and week 4 your focus should be on higher algebra, that is function inequality based question. So 2 chapters in each week can be sufficient enough for you to improvise on 8 different areas of Quant, and those 8 areas will definitely give you an edge up to 10 to 11 questions by the end of October. Now this will give us a chart from here till next 7 weeks. So that is 50 days that we are talking about. 50th day will be your D day. So next 7 weeks, you can have such a detailed plan, and then in generic, you can prepare a generic plan. So suppose you may identify that there is not a great area of improvement in RC, for example. So that doesn't mean you will not practice RC based questions. October is the time when you start practicing dense RC based question, and in fact you should have a sprint of 4 to 5 passages at a time, allocating around somewhere around 40 to 45 minutes for that, and ensuring that you are in position to attempt somewhere around 17-18 questions, or probably 20 questions in 5 RCs within 40-45 minutes. So such a sprint is very important. At least one sprint per day in the month of October is essential. So apart from the mocks that you will be targeting, apart from the other sectional tests that you will be targeting, having a sprint of 40-45 minutes in RC in the month of October is essential in general for almost everybody. Next area in verbal is to focus on questions on logical discontinuity and parajumbles. If you observe CAT 2016 and CAT 2015, these two areas have been most consistent, and hence it is very important for you to get these questions correct, especially in parajumbles where the question type will be non-MCQ, because if it were to be an objective, an MCQ based question, sometimes it becomes easy for you to detect the right combination of A, B, C, D, E, because you get a starting point or you get an end point in some of the options. But here, when you are encountering non-MCQ based questions in parajumbles, it is very important for you to brush up the concepts. So get into the discussion mode. So every question that you discuss, say assuming you're solving just 5 to 10 questions on logical continuation and parajumble per day, 5 questions is also fine, as long as you're getting the concepts of these 5 questions in place, as long as you know why you're starting with a particular statement, why you are ending with a particular statement in parajumble. If that concept is in place, 5 to 7 questions per day in each of these areas should not be a problem. Apart from that, the other areas which has not been very regular, say something like critical reasoning or grammar based questions or word usage questions or filling the blanks, these areas are something which should not be left untouched. A lot of people will say that try to concentrate only on the type of question which are being asked, but we don't know whether what type of questions will be asked in CAT 2017. So we have to be prepared for more varieties of question, and hence brushing up on these questions, or at least practicing these questions with followed by discussion is important. So touching up at least 15 to 20 such questions, either in the form of a sectional test or in the form of mock, is important at this stage. Second section as per the CAT pattern is your DI, AR, LR section, and as we discussed in a 3-month planning video, we'll continue with the same plan in the month of October and November. We'll concentrate more first on the standard sets, that is your mixed graph based questions or arrangement of 4x4 or 5x5 based questions, in order to ensure that we are reaching close to cutoff. That should always be the focus in this month. This will ensure that your scores do not fluctuate much in the month of October. It is very essential to have good confidence, and for that confidence, stability in the score or a gradual increase in score is essential, rather than experimenting hugely and getting very fluctuating scores. So trying to focus on the mixed graph based questions or standard calculation based questions. Start usage of online calculator. Now in the month of October, you will be writing a lot of online mocks, and this is the time when you get a grip over usage of online calculators. This will help you in getting precise answers, especially for the non-MCQ based questions in DI. Second is to continue solving the unconventional questions that have been the troublemakers in last couple of DI, AR, LR sections. So these type of questions should be followed by a thorough analysis and a discussion if possible. So rather than running after the quantity of question, or rather than solving 10, 15 sets a day, or even 5 sets a day, I would rather advise you to focus, solve only 3 to 4 sets a day and focus on a detailed analysis and discussion. This will help you in building the right approach on the day of exam, because even if we are able to manage say the standard questions are somewhere around 10-12 standard questions and 2 to 3 unconventional sets, an attempt of somewhere around 20 to 24, but with high accuracy, then we can expect a very good percentile in this section. At least we can be sure that we will not miss out on any sectional cutoffs. In third section, that is quantitative ability, first thing that we need to identify is prepare a comprehensive list of most frequently asked concepts. That okay, these are the concepts which are more or less getting repetitive in nature and are very likely to be asked on the day of CAT. So once you have that list, it is our responsibility to ensure that we attain 100% accuracy in these type of questions. And I'm sure if we identify the pattern of not just last couple of CATs, but entire the pattern from 2009-2010, that is the entire online CAT pattern, we will be in position to identify at least 12 to 15 such questions which are getting repeated every year. And if you can ensure that you will not miss out on any of the question out of these 15 questions, you can be sure that you are getting at least 90 percentile. That should be the objective of the month of October. Additionally, you have to work on the areas which are generally creating trouble. So if we take care of the areas like PNC, if we take care of questions on function or coordinate geometry, which generally students are not able to make out, especially the students from non-math background. So these areas, if taken care of in the month of October, can help you get very good rewards by helping you reach an attempt of somewhere around 20 to 22 in the month of October, and being on the safer side of percentile, that is somewhere around 94 to 95. So that should really help. Secondly, in quant, you have to ensure that you are not repeating any mistakes that you made in your previous exam. That is very important. A lot of people tend to not analyze the mistakes, or be it silly mistake, be it calculative mistake. They take that mistakes lightly, and sometimes they keep repeating those mistakes. They assume that this mistake will get corrected on the CAT day and they'll be suddenly see an improvement in the score. That doesn't happen generally. So take care of your mistakes, ensure you're not repeating them. Even if you can identify such 5 to 6 such silly mistakes and can take a corrective measure on the same, you will see a drastic change, a good jump in your score in this month itself. So overall, for the month of October, you should be writing at least 10 online mocks and 4 to 5 paper-based exams. So 15 mocks will help you strengthen your strategy. This is something which is essential to evaluate your strategy in a right way, because the strategy cannot be fixed. You cannot have one fixed strategy. It cannot be tailor-made for every student. This has to evolve. And to evolve a right strategy, it takes at least 12 to 15 good mocks, and of course a thorough analysis followed by each mock. Secondly, you should not miss out on sectional tests. So at least ensure that you write 5 section tests of each section in the month of October, keeping a target attempt of somewhere between 16 to 22 in each section, depending on your performance, depending on your aspiration also, and depending on your preparation level also. So an overall attempt of somewhere between 45 to 60 can be considered good in the month of October. This will slowly improve. So I'll give you a tentative table which will help you identify that okay, this is one jump possible and the second jump possible from here onwards till the day of CAT. So keeping a target of somewhere between 16 to 22 attempt in each section should be good enough for the month of October. Also start writing mocks for NMAT, because a lot of students will be writing mock NMAT in this month, and a lot of students will be preparing for IFT also, looking forward for IFT. So you'll have to start working on GK of IFT in the month of October. Additionally, keep a watch on all the forms, the deadlines of the forms and the institute's application through CAT or through any other exam. Please ensure you're not missing out on applying to any of the exams or any of the institutes. October will be critical month where almost all the forms will be out. Have a portfolio prepared, have a list of institutes which are realistic for you or for backup for you or aspirational for you. Classify them, keep a tab on their deadlines so that you do not miss out on any deadline. I am looking at least 10 online mocks and 2 to 3 paper-based exams, especially for students who will be looking for writing IFT. Do not miss out on writing at least 2 to 3 mock IFTs before CAT. Additionally, if you have not appeared for NMAT so far and if you're looking at your first attempt in the month of November, you would have written 2 to 3 mock NMAT in the month of October. So November is a time to repeat 2 to 3 mocks again before you write actual NMAT. Additionally, you'll have to manage time for your mock IFT and GK preparation for your IFT. So please ensure you do not miss out on your GK preparation for IFT in the month of November. So along with CAT preparation, there is a lot of things to manage. A lot of fresher would be expecting their SEMENT exams also, and hence November will become a most critical month for all the serious CAT aspirants. So time management, utilizing each and every minute in the month of November is essential. Writing sectional test or writing sprints for RC, at least one in every alternate day will also be sufficient. Sectional test, it will be fine if you are able to, if you're not able to cope up with sectional test, but please ensure you're doing a thorough analysis of your mock and writing at least 10 mocks in the month of November. Finally, you'll have to believe that yes, there are 2 big leaps possible from here till the day of CAT. And if you are ready to put in the required effort in the month of October and in the month of November, this is very much possible. I have prepared a table which gives you a suggested net correct for a different time period, that is 6 weeks before CAT, 3 weeks before CAT and 1 week before CAT. If you are somewhere in this range at this point of time, that is 7 to 6 weeks before CAT, please have a trust that yes, these jumps are possible if you are ready to put in the required effort and follow the instruction which I just mentioned in this video. That's it for the preparation plan. Do keep watching our videos, and in case you have any query, do put that query in the comment section. Wishing you all the best.